Okay, welcome. This is a little different Midships format than you might be used to. I'm going to start doing a couple times a day, little quicker news articles where I read and provide my commentary. I've seen a lot of growth on other YouTube channels when this type of video is put together. No editing, no cuts. It's just me and you raw with the cruise news. Let's hop in. We've got a story on norovirus outbreaks hitting an all-time high, at least a decade all-time high. This is coming out of Komo News. Not sure who that is or where they're from, but let's jump right into the article. From Komo News, norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships hit decade high. Post-COVID sailings face new challenges. Washington, D.C. After COVID-19 stopped cruises, it still isn't smooth sailing for cruise passengers after a recent outbreak of norovirus. We've reported on several ships having these type of large outbreaks over the past couple of weeks. I made a recent episode, which I'll pin right up in the upper right-hand corner if you want to watch that. The highly contagious gastrointestinal virus has skyrocketed to the highest numbers in the past decade, according to the U.S. CDC. So far this year, 13 outbreaks on cruise ships have marked the largest outbreak since 2012 of norovirus. That's a lot, and it's actually kind of surprising given the fact that we have all of these new protocols in place to help protect people, keep them safe from these transmissible diseases on cruise ships. Think about this. You walk into a restaurant, there's somebody there handing out hand sanitizer, and if there's not somebody there, there is at least a sanitizer there available. There's all kinds of stickers and placards reminding you to wash, have hygiene, all of this. But in recent months, I guess almost probably more than a year now, a lot of the cruise lines have really slipped back towards pre-pandemic operating procedures. And what I mean by that is a lot of these cruise lines are letting you serve yourself on the buffet. They're not so much sitting there saying, oh, washy when you walk into buffets, that kind of thing. So I understand why we are getting to this. Let's jump back into the article. Often called a stomach bug, norovirus is the most common cause of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain. I'll add for cruisers. Most recently, an outbreak happened on Viking cruises, Viking Neptune, on June 6th through June 20th. That saw more than 100 passengers become ill, according to the CDC, accounting for 13% of the ship's population. Now, these cruise lines don't necessarily have to report a norovirus outbreak until it reaches a certain threshold of the percentage of passengers. I believe that threshold is somewhere in the 2% range, if I'm not mistaken. Now, more than 100 passengers became ill, according to the CDC, accounting for 13% of the people on board the ship. In a statement to the Wall Street Journal, the company said it believes the recent outbreak originated from a shoreside restaurant in Iceland where the group of guests dined during their free time. Would you look at that? Viking Cruise Line saying, it wasn't us. It came from somewhere else. Let me scroll through this. Across the 13 outbreaks, more than 240 crew members and nearly 1,700 passengers have reported being ill. A spokesperson for the Cruise Line International Association, that's CLIA, they're like the big name in the industry, you've probably heard of them before, told the Wall Street Journal that because cruise ships report illnesses to the CDC, there's more visibility and faster reporting to health authorities. You need to take things with a grain of salt when they come from a PR department, whether it be a cruise line or the Cruise Line International Association. Look, they're a pro-cruise industry. I'm a pro-cruise channel, so I appreciate a positive spin. But with every spin, there's another side to the argument. Whether or not you want to agree with it or hear it, there definitely is. The spokesperson went on to say this should not be confused to mean there is a higher incident rate on board the ships. What they're saying there is that we're just a little bit more conscious of reporting these incidents on cruise ships now coming out of a pandemic. So that sounds like what they're chalking this rise in norovirus cases. They're chalking it up to better reporting and people being more willing to report and talk about these things. Now, for the CDC to report an outbreak, 2% or more, hey, look at that, we got it right. 2% or more of passengers or crew must report symptoms of gastrointestinal illnesses to the ship's medical staff on voyages under their jurisdiction. Now, the CDC has jurisdiction to any cruises that leave or sometimes return to an American port here. Transatlantic cruises, I'm not sure what the jurisdiction is. But as long as it's that closed loop, that's going to give the CDC precedence to handle these type of situations, go on and do their inspections. We recently saw the MSC Miravilia had an abysmal health score, 71%. So the CDC went on, inspected the ship, made recommendations. And remember, the cruise lines have to pay for these inspections to occur. So it's insult to injury because they cost about 25 grand to get your health inspection done. Other cruise lines impacted by norovirus include Celebrity Cruises, Holland America, Princess, Royal Caribbean, and P&O Cruises. Like I said, norovirus cases on the rise on cruising once again. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Leave me a message. Let me know, you like this new format? Have you ever gotten sick on a cruise? That's going to do it for now. Don't worry, we still have the regular scheduled Midships episode dropping later today. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the Carnival Fight Club episode, well, check it out next.
La 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 la